to victory, 128 laps without a pit stop.
Donnie Kite's going to get through it all and score his first career win.
Saturday Night Racing League and throwback at Charlotte goes to Josh Adams.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen. The West Coast Sim Racing GT Challenge here on V-Speed for the first time. You know what you're thinking. I'm not Sean Stam. No, I'm Morgan Cook, and you are watching V-Speed. I'll be your host and producer here tonight. Cameras provided by Dougie Beard. If you haven't already, check out vspeedsim.com, like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a moment of the racing action. Here this week in Road America for round number 4. Beautiful facility. We've all raced on it. We've all seen it. Terrific product of the state of Wisconsin. Quick look at your points as we're just about to roll into the grid here. Qualifying has concluded. Josh Hunter, Trevor Vaborowski lead the way, just ahead of Michael Odell. That is your top 3. And look at the schedule as well. Round number 4 here in Road America. Next week, Interlagos. Travel outside of North America for the second time this season. Spa, of course, over in Belgium. Let's have a look at your starting grid here in just a moment. Let's get those points back up on the screen. In fact, my first time doing this series, of course, so we're going to have a lot of new names to me. I don't recognize any driver in the field. Of course, you at home who are watching this and have seen it over on the Stam Racing Network, you, of course, will recognize these names, and we will deal with them throughout the race here today. Have no fear. Sean will be back next week to cover it over on his channel. Of course, it being Black Friday right after Thanksgiving. You know, holiday plans get in the way. Doesn't really happen for us Canadians, of course, because our Thanksgiving was over a month ago, back in October. Let's revisit that schedule as well. So Spa, VIR, Watkins Glen already in the books. We got Road America here for the GT4 class. Interlagos next week for GT3s. Then Long Beach, Daytona. That'll be a fun one in those GT3 cars. Mexico, Monza, Silverstone, Suzuka, and Bathurst, Mount Panorama. Quite the facility definitely be better than the GT4s and GT3s, I would think. Going down that hill section would be a nightmare going any faster than you had to. A lot of grip in these GT4 cars as well, so should prove to be an interesting race here tonight. A lot of draft dependent, I would think, down these very long straightaways here at Road America. If you haven't already, also check out those QR codes at the bottom of your screen. That's for the Discord for the West Coast Sim Racing GT Challenge server, and then, of course, the Instagram page there on the right-hand side of the screen. Also check out some of our sponsors who bring this to you, Zane Khan Coaching, as well as overstockvehicles.com. We'll hear from them throughout the show. Still about a minute away before we get down to the grid. Let's have a look at this beautiful facility here in Road America. Opened back in 1955. A lot of famous race car drivers have turned laps around this racetrack, including, of course, Roger Penske. NASCAR drivers have raced here a number of times. Obviously, it's a favorite for GT3 and GT4 competition. IMSA has an event here. A lot of elevation changes, almost 1,000 feet from high point to low point. Go up the hill, down the hill. It's quite a spectacular facility to drive and nestled in the woods of Wisconsin. Just over 4 miles in length. Drivers are going to absolutely get a workout here today. And now it is about time to get into the grid. Let's see where your favorite driver is going to start their race today. With the fast qualifying lap starting on the pole. Kyler Satterfield in the 81, Andrew Bound, race winner this season, will start in the second position. Second rows, a pair of Colbys, Nico and Stone in the 16 and 52 respectively. They will start third and fourth, very close on the lap time as well on the money lap. Fifth position will be Mitch Crowther in the 073. Brandon Birch will start in sixth in the 36. Seventh will be Zach Severe in the 74. Dane Perkins rolls off in the 8th spot. Row number 5 looks like your points, I believe second in points. Trevor Vorowski in the 10. Jesse Laborin in the 27 starts in 10th. 11th tonight, Cam Aiken in the 7 machine. Benjamin Forehand will start in 12th. 13th, Joe Rainey in the 17. Brendan Myers in 14th, the 23. 15th will be Hammer Zakaralugu. Hopefully I got that right. I doubt I did. Apologies for that. The 225. Amethyst Reese starts 16th in the 037. 17th, Aleski Andrew. Again, apologies. 19th, or the number 19 for the 17th place starter. Warren Johnson starts in 18th in the 24. 19th, Josh Hunter in the 18. Taylor Thompson starts in 20th in the 69. And shotgun on the field, Darren Colby in the 47. Now let's get trackside. You can hear the fans cheering in the background, and there are the drivers as they roll down that big turn one, down into turn one, down the front stretch hill. Of course, behind that BMW safety car, we should go one lap around here. Pace lights are out. Before we light these things up. While we're doing that, let's have a look at your race analysis there, bottom corner of your screen. 45 minutes is the length of our race here. Scheduled distance, pit road speed 35 miles an hour. I believe these cars have limiters, so that shouldn't come into play. Of course, we're in the GT4 class this week, alternating between GT3 and GT4. GT4, of course, chosen for this one. We are going to have one full course yellow. That's going to happen somewhere between minute 20 and 25, sort of like a halfway break type of thing. Bring this field back together and then let them go again for the final X amount of minutes. That's going to be a 2-lap caution period, but it's going to be somewhere in that 5 minutes. We don't exactly know wherever race control feels the right time is. Of course, running open setups here, so not what iRacing provides. These drivers went out, sourced, or built their own setups to find all the speed that they need. One thing I find very interesting about this type of racing, where the cars aren't all spec, is you can build a setup to really mask some of the issues that your car has. If your car, say, is slower on the straightaways, or it's better on that early exit, has a good acceleration, or whatever the case is, you can build a setup to really accentuate the good and kind of mask the bad. So I'm curious to see kind of what the various car manufacturers have in store for us here today. But regardless, that's your race analysis. 45 minutes on the clock when they get back to the start-finish line. Right now, rolling into the carousel, I believe. Yes, they are. It's headed through turn number 9, turn number 10. Big runoff area there. It's a whole lot of gravel. You don't want to step on throttle too hard. You will find yourself struggling just a little bit with how much gravel there is out there. Now this long, fast section, 10, 11, 11A, down to 12 in Canada Corner. A lot of speed to be had here. Also the walled section of the racetrack, one of the few places where there's walls on both sides. You can definitely see some carnage there if you're not careful. Once we get down through the sharp Canada Corner, we hit the kink in 13, the final corner in 14, and then up that hill to the start-finish line where we will drop the green flag. Barney is anxiously waiting to get this thing underway. There's 12, working through 13 now. And back up the hill. 14. And we're just about to get this thing underway. Pace car should make that sharp turn in. There it is. Barney got the flag in his hand. Drivers will crest the hill. There they are. The green flag is waving at Road America. Side by side, down into one. Even start, top to bottom. Drivers sail through turn number 1. Bound gets the lead away. Got it by 3 over Satterfield. And they are 3 wide behind them. Not sustainable at this point in the race. Land rush down here as we try and single file our way out. Down into turn number 5. Sharp left-hander at the bottom of the hill. Hard on the brakes. One to the inside. Oh, Satterfield trying to get that spot back. He's now lost 2. First to third as they're side by side behind him. Birch and Stone Colby. Birch going to get that spot away. Sorry, that's Colby going to get that spot away. A little further back. We are 3 wide again. That's not going to work. Single files out for that little kink there. Oh, we got a driver around. That's the 7 of Aiken. Let's go back on the replay here. What caused the 7 to go around? Looking at that black machine with the yellow on it. Satterfield has also gone around. We'll go back and see what happened to that car in just a moment. So here's the 3 wide, pushed off the racetrack. Kept it on the tarmac and then just pushed it too hard out of the corner. Goes around for the 7. Now here's Satterfield just a little bit later on the same lap. Around some trees. We are currently here. There's the carousel. Just a little bit free on the back end. Not enough rear downforce, and around that one goes. Both drivers still on the racetrack. Of course, Aiken is a ways behind the field after the spin. Josh Hunter has gone for a ride. Jesse Laverin has spun around here. The 27 Cameron Caster machine. What's going on here? Yellow rear bumper. That's what we're looking at. Whoever crosses him over there, we're going to work through the foliage. Maybe not work through the foliage. Oh my goodness. That tough part of the racetrack to see right there from the blimp camera. Another just loose condition into the corner. That car never set. Around it goes. Big sideways slide. Benjamin Forehand has an issue as well. We'll catch up to the live shot in just a minute after we see what happened here to the 35 who went around. Down into one. I'm not sure if this is where the incident took place or not. See, they're moving and shaking up there at the top of the screen. Three cars really fighting for it. So dives into one. Just loose off the corner. Again, we've seen that a bunch. Oh, he hit that wall a ton. But I don't believe there's damage enabled in this series. He should be okay to continue here. One of the very few leagues on iRacing that I've seen have no damage enabled. Drivers, I'm sure, love it. You can push that car as hard as it's worth, and you know you're not going to end your day due to damage, simply due to track position, should something go awry. Let's catch up with your leader, Andrew Bound, in the Unicorn Mustang. I suppose that's what we're going for there. Nico Colby rides in the second position. Stone Colby right behind him. Forehand loses another position. Fighting hard with Mitch Crowther as they work through what I believe is the carousel. It is. Now they're down into the kink of 11. Kettle bottoms of 11A. Down into Canada corner. Oh, they're racing really tight there. Somehow get through that section. Little bump draft down the straightaway. And a move into the corner. Did he get there? No, he did not get there. Benjamin Forehand they're gonna have to fight back on the front stretch, just in front of them. Josh Hunter getting up close and personal with Warren Johnson. Trying to find a way around. We got a battle just a little bit ahead here. Brennan Myers just getting worked around by the 225, that all-white machine. Pair of Porsches duking it out here for the top 10. Up a little further, Brandon Burke. Trying to hold off a hard-charging Dane Perkins. Those drivers both up a few positions. So far, of course, we're only about 6 minutes into this race. Biggest mover of the race so far is now Josh Hunter, actually just passed Warren Johnson. +6 so far in the race. Driver falling the most, of course, Tyler Satterfield after that early spin, putting him at a negative trajectory. So next it's Mitch Crowther is down 12. That dude wife's car. Seen better days. Benjamin Forehand has gone around. What happened to the Turtle machine? Another one down the straightaway. To go for a move. I think this is into 5 potentially. Oh, just contact in the middle of the straightaway. That was into 5, I believe. And oh, that's heavy, heavy damage again to that car. Second time we've seen that in as many laps. Some days are just not your day on the racetrack, and that seems to be the case for that driver. Oh, big set there. The 57, Nate Perkins. As they drive over the embedded camera. Sail through the S's. Down into 14. Can anybody make a move up the hill? It's all about the runoff here. Doesn't look like it yet. Here's your move. Navrosky. He's going to get alongside. Can he clear? Is the question. Yes, he can. Crossover coming. Oh, almost had Mercedes on Mercedes violence right there. Warren Johnson, Josh Hunter have had an issue. chaotic start to this one. Both these drivers about 4 seconds off the pace of their normal lap. Maybe get into each other here. Oh, yes, big slide. Big slide. Oh, God. Oh, boy. Big damage on the nose. Just a mistake. Both able to get back going again. Excellent battle here. From 5th to 8th. All these drivers in a row. Having a bit of a row as well. Trying to get close to that grass without touching it. As this group has really kind of fallen off the pace of Stone Colby. He's about 2.5 seconds up the road. And Brandon Birch starting to pull away as well. He's about a second ahead of Zach Severe. Let's see what the driver of the 10 has in store for us. Bring up this telemetry. See what kind of speeds we're lapping in this Mercedes AMG GT4. Not get a good exit there. This is down that 11, 11, 8, 12 section down in Canada corner right here. Rotates the center nicely, throttle up off. 13 right there. Sorry, this is 13. 14. Be back to the right. Get that car pitched. Try and use the draft for advantage. Not making much headway, making a little bit of headway. Fortunately, the straightaway isn't long enough to really have the draft help you a ton in that situation. A good run through turn 1 will definitely help, as well as Birch struggling just a little bit to get through that section. Down through 2 into turn number 3. Oh, almost getting the back bumper a little bit there. In the shot through turn number 3. Now technically going through turn 4 right here. Doesn't feel like it, but it is in fact a corner. Hard braking zone of 5. We're going to see a little something here. I can tell, almost pushed him off the racetrack. Down into 5. Pass will be made. And it's brought the next 2 to him as well. Perkins, Satterfield. Well, how do you do to the back bumper of Severe? All this while Andrew Bound is out by about 0.3 of a second over the BMW of Nico Colby. Colby keeping him honest. And they have driven out to a 3-second lead over Stone Colby. Look at his Ford Mustang. Looking back throughout the field here, Josh Hunter. Saw him go for a slide earlier, is caught up to the back of Sem Aiken. The 7 machine who also went for a slide earlier. Both these drivers are hoping for the competition yellow that's going to happen here about the halfway point in this race. Get them caught back up to the lead group. Of course, as long as they're on the lead lap, things will be good. They are a long ways from going a lap down here, returning lap times at about 2.25 minutes. They're only about 30 seconds behind, so a long way to go yet for those drivers to be impacted by being a lap behind the leader. Fun one so far. A little over 10 minutes into this one. We have seen already enough carnage to fill your boots. A few drivers here are thrilled, I imagine, that you're able to damage the race car and it just all buffs out as you drive away. I'm sure they would love that in real life as well. A car that was able to repair itself upon impact. Let's see what the 225 is up to, getting chased down by Amethyst Reese. Drive down here into the corner. Do they get the braking zone? They're going to try the outside. Maybe not the way I would have tried to take that corner into 5, but they're going to go up the hill into 6. They got the inside now. Alongside. Can they get the run off the corner? No, they got pinched down. Another crossover, perhaps. Still have not found a way around. Trying to change the way they enter the corner and exit it, the corner geometry. It's still not working. Shallow entry into the carousel. Can they get a little clean air on the nose? Doesn't look like it. Excellent battle here for the 12th position, where we are right now. Flip the road just a little bit. We're side by side here for 5th spot. These two fighting hard. Door to door into the corner. All the way out to the gravel patch. Somehow not clipping it more than he needed to. Oh, and there's a spin. Big slide. 2 drivers going for a ride. And the 225 also around. 2 separate incidents in the same area. We kind of saw this one happening. Go back and see if we can watch it one more time. We're going to catch that bad part of the racetrack where it's hard to tell what's happening here. Better shot from the blimp. Yeah, just a late lunge. Got one sideways, one couldn't quite save it. Around they go, and the 225 also went for a ride at the same time. Remember this battle we were watching just moments before. In fact, the 037 on pit road at the moment. Probably going to see a little contact here, I would imagine. So close down to the braking zone. Potentially, yeah, just a little bit of a tap. Going the opposite way, completely pushed off racetrack, and that thing did not brake at all until it broke the front end into the corner. Some drivers, again, really glad that damage gets repaired as they drive away. So look at the 19 running P11. Up 6 positions from where they started. So far, the biggest, well, tied with the biggest mover, Josh Hunter. Both have gained half dozen spots. Right around the back part of this racetrack. Carousel, turn 8, or sorry, 9 and 10, apologies. Kink, not quite wide open. Unlike Daytona's Kink, which of course is wide open pretty much all the time. This is raining. Heavy braking zone for Canada Corner at 12. One-off area again. And 13, the setup. Turn number 14. And the longest straightaway on the course with the uphill section. Definitely horsepower. Nico Colby still keeping Andrew Bowen honest. Couple 3,000 plus rated drivers here. Good spread of drivers in the field. Some drivers in the around the rookie area, 1,300. Some drivers all the way up as high as 5,300 on the iRating spectrum. So really a good mix of drivers throughout the field. They're all mixed together, which is nice to see as well. You don't see the higher drivers really having massive leads over the rest of the field, so that is good news to see here. As Vavorowski has gone off again. .711 machine. Might need to stop by and get an energy drink or something. Not going well. Let's regain that focus. Just down into 5, just did not Did not hook up at all. Tried to set that car, tried to roll the center, and just went right around on him. Warren Johnson has an issue on pit road. 225. Currently bringing up the rear for drivers who are not on pit road at the moment, but not too far away from Benjamin Forehand, who has had a couple incidents so far in this race. Not that either of these two drivers wanted, but competition yellow in just a few minutes could change everything. Remember, between minute 20 and 25, which would be between 2 and 7 minutes from now, we will more than likely see a competition yellow. We see the Birch machine has gone around. Cocoa Puffs on the side of that car. Out of 14, trying to get the power down. Did not hook up quite properly. See here, the 36 pitches into the corner, touches the curb, and he caught the grass on the exit. Almost had it saved, but boom, got that wall in a big way. And contrary to popular belief, Mustang versus concrete wall. In this case, concrete wall wins, not the Mustang. Colby is right there. Can't get much closer. These two have pulled out to a almost 6-second lead over the next driver. Right in the tire tracks, trying to mimic through the carousel. Little bobble there. Look at this. We're going to have a challenge for the lead for the first time today. Side by side through 11A. Down into Canada corner. New leader for a moment. Crossover incoming. Can't quite make it stick. Through 13. Mustang leading. BMW right behind him. Into 14, the gap grows ever so slightly. Draft incoming. Will it be enough to take another lunge down into turn 1? I don't think it will be. Gonna close. In fact, he's losing ground at the moment. Great drive through 1. Colby still right there. Might have missed his window to make the move. While we watch that one. Excellent battle for 11th. 19 into 7. Porsche, Mercedes into 1. Easy clear for the 7. Oh, he's going to miss the corner off the racetrack. Tried to gain 1, ended up losing 2. If that's not racing, I don't know what is. Up the track a little bit. 17 of Joe Rainey. Trying to make a move on Zach Severe. That would be, of course, for the 5th position. As we await competition yellow. Could be at any moment. You're not missing anything out front. The gap has ballooned to 0.7 of a second and growing. I think Colby made the tires mad. Battle for 12th still going on. This time it's Josh Hunter trying to get around the 19. As Aiken watches in the wings. Three battles on the racetrack. All of them about the same distance apart. Drivers trying to gain track position right before the caution. There it is. Caution is out. Andrew Bound going to get the lead at that competition. Caution, almost said stage. Of course, this is not NASCAR. There are no stages here. Not awarding points arbitrarily through the middle of the race. How preposterous would that be? Safety car collects the field. We take our first step aside. Back in a couple laps here. Of course, you are watching West Coast Sim Racing GT Challenge here on V-Speed. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after this.
To Josh Adams.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Grounded? No problem. We have out-of-this-world selections and down-to-earth prices. We have over 600 vehicles available for sale monthly, all at dealer pricing. Why fly when you can drive for less? The universe agrees. Overstockvehicles.com is the smart choice. Visit us today.
Thanks to Overstockvehicles.com for the commercial break, as well as Juicy Spider Studios, and of course iRacing, the platform we all love. Back here for the West Coast Sim Racing GT Challenge. This time the GT4s at Road America for round number 4. It's been a race dominated so far by Andrew Bound, led every single lap so far, as we are right around that 19-minute mark in the race. Driver should have an opportunity to use the safety car to pit if they so choose. We're going to get the one to green this time by from the flag stand. Arnie is waving that thing, letting them know we are under a safety car period. Now, I believe, yes, we are 1 to go here, about 3.5 minutes away from getting this thing back fired up. Going to leave us with about a 15-minute shootout to the end. And while we wait, let's go through your field. You can see it on the ticker on the side of your screen. Let's give every driver a little up-close and personal action here. Starting off with your leader, Andrew Bound, started second, led 11 laps. Currently the leader in the race. Nico Colby, right behind him, started in the third spot, up 1, has not led yet. Stone Colby right behind in the Ford Racing Machine, started 4th, has gained a spot as well. And Satterfield, Tyler Satterfield, has gained has gained back a couple spots after losing 3 from the spin early. He didn't lead into turn number 1, or out of turn 1, I should say, and is trying to get that footing back. Zach Severe right behind them has had an up and down sort of day from 7th up to 5th. Joe Rainey in the 6th position has gained a whopping 7 positions, which is co-lead for the most gained, with Brennan Myers 1 spot behind him, 14th to 7th for that car. And if you need to know where to go, just have a look at it. It's got the road map right on it. Favorowski in the 8th spot. We've seen him around 2 or 3 times today in that 7-Eleven Slurpee machine. We love a good Slurpee, that is for sure. Braden Birch down 3 spots from his starting position. Mitch Crowther in the Mercedes is down 5, not having the best start to his day in the 073. Alasky in the number 19 has gained 6 positions. And Josh Hunter right behind has gained 7. That is, again, tied for the most in the race. It's a 3-way tie. Everyone from here on back has lost spots. Aiken is down a pair. Dane Perkins down 6. Forehand is down 3. Tamer in the 225 has lost 1. Reese has also lost 1. Lavoren has lost 8. A disastrous day for the Camber and Caster driver. And Warren Johnson, shotgun on the field, has lost a single position. Drivers working through the carousel here shortly, trying to get those tires nice and warm, get them all toasted up. So apologies, we're down in here into the kink at 11A. We've already passed the carousel. Just about ready to fire these things back off here. Who gets it done? Does Bound continue the masterful day? Do one of the Colbys steal it? This restart will absolutely prove important for how this one ends up. Edge of our seats. Pace car driver slowly pulling away. Gonna dive it onto the pit lane here in mere moments. As every driver single files their way and stakes their way throughout the course. Safety car. Into pit lane. Field in the hand of Andrew Bound. Up through the gears and up the hill. We are back racing. Big jump for the leader. Bound gets away by almost half a second, a little over half a second. Down into 1, the Colbys working together. Oh, big slide for the leader, he's off the racetrack. For the first time today, somebody besides Andrew Bound will lead out of turn number 1, and it's gonna be Nico Colby. Where did Bound fall back to? The wrecking behind him, but he's around again. It has gone from bad to worse. Forehand off the track as well. Disaster for so many drivers. There's Myers. Satterfield is spun as well. Oh my goodness. Bound, of course, we saw him go around. Warren Johnson collected a black flag. We must go back and work through what just happened. This is from the initial start. Of course, we saw more crash. Stone Colby's around. We'll go capture that here in just a moment, of course. We saw the leader at the time, the 6.51 of Bound, dive into turn number 1. Could not make it stick on those cold tires. Right there, just did not hook up. Around it goes, off the racetrack, and then it just got worse and worse and worse. See, nothing bad right here, but they're trying to squeeze around him. They wreck into him. And they go for their spin. We saw Satterfield spin right after in the same corner. We saw Dane Perkins able to get through it. Another driver caught up in this one as well. We have so much happening all throughout the field here. It's hard to capture all of the carnage we just witnessed. Drivers spinning and sliding. Another one off the racetrack. Vavarowski, oh, that's Stone Colby going around. Contact right there, pushed him off the racetrack. Vavarowski doing a little off-roading with just over 10 minutes to go. Oh, big spin in front of him. The Cocoa Puffs machine goes around. I mean, the list just goes on and on here. We captured most of what happened on a chaotic rejoin lap from the restart. Nico Colby kept the leader honest the entire first stint. And now, trying to pull away from Zach Severe. 2.5 back. Then Joe Rainey rounds out the podium for now. As they work through a debris-filled corner there. Mitch Crowther has gained a bunch of positions. How about just one position? Still plus in the column. We got Vavarowski right behind him. Big loser out of the restart, of course, was Satterfield. Restarted up in 4th, down to 15th after the spin. Seemingly on his own. Didn't see what triggered him to go around there out of turn number 2. Turn 1, whatever it was. Regardless, that driver has fallen back a number of positions. Great battle here. As also Benjamin Forhad has elected to leave the session. Only driver 1 lap behind the pace is the 19. Sorry, the 35 in 19th. Excellent battles here. Stone Colby potentially again having an issue. Being pressured from behind from 3 drivers who crashed into each other moments ago. Maybe clip the grass a bit. Looks so far so good here. On the brakes. Oh, again, rear end just did not hook up. Down they go. Oh, big dive for Lavorin. Gets a spot away from Perkins at the last possible moment. They tried the outside here. Not quite going to have enough momentum to get there. Up through the gears. Aiken losing some spots. Falls back to 8th. 9.5 minutes remain. Great battle in front of him. Bound trying to get back to the point. Oh, big move. They're all going to crash. Bound into the outside wall. Mitch Crowther, the driver who wrecked with him. Another driver off the racetrack is a 19. Chaotic corner there. Let's go back and have a look at it. So we saw it first from Bound. Down into 5 here. Big block. Tried to squeeze in the hole. A little movement under braking. Around goes the Mustang. Of course, 19 just overshoots the corner, trying to get around the 225. Rejoins back safely. Little contact, actually, so not quite as safely as I thought. Regardless, both drivers make it through the corner. Putting on a great battle here. This is for 6th position. I feel like in this race, if you can just be mistake-free for these final 8 minutes, you're probably going to have a pretty good finish to your day. But that's obviously a lot easier said than done. Seen a lot of drivers on the upper side of the iRating ladder in this race make mistakes. Right behind him, the 19 off the racetrack one more time out of 14. Pushing a little hard. They get everything they can for their Mercedes GT4 team. But Nico Colby has gotten out to an impressive 3-second lead over Zach Severe. Joe Rainey just barely in touch, about a second behind, and it's 1.5 back to Favorowski. Hunter keeping in touch. A lot of drivers we see bound again off the racetrack. Gonna work that grass, see if there's a little grip out there. I can tell you for free, there is not any grip out there. Field starting to spread apart here in the top 10. Lavorin back in 10th, trying to get around the 225. It's not working. Lunge to the inside. Oh, he's not there. And that is going to check up. Dane Perkins as well, who tries to get around in that dark AMG machine. Oh, he got to the inside. Can he make a move? He's on the wrong side of the racetrack for this. Stone Colby with the black flag as well. Bad to worse for the driver who ran third pretty much the entire opening stint. Rainey and Severe through the carousel, nose to tail. Big wiggle for the BMW. They're going to be side by side again. Aggressive move. Oh, he's off the racetrack through the grass. What a move, able to keep that car well under control as it tries now to chase down the leader. Who's up to almost 5 seconds out front. Another dive into 13, not going to be enough. Can they make a move out of 14? Here comes Vavrowski as Lavorin goes for a spin. 27 off the racetrack. That was in Canada corner. Josh Hunter plus 14. Does have issues early, but has not had any issues since then. Position number 5. Having a fantastic showing. I haven't really seen any, I would say, specific manufacturer domination. It's kind of been a mixed bag up at the front of the field. Currently a pair of BMWs leading the way, followed by a Mustang, pair of Mercedes, a Porsche, another Mercedes, Ford, Porsche, Mercedes, Mercedes in the top 11. So kind of a mixed bag. Only driver not represented up there is the Aston Martin, the lone Aston Martin, driven by Amethyst Reese back in the 17th spot. Excellent battle here for P2 on your screen. 3-car battle. A little bump drafting, in fact, trying to get the outside to work. It does, in fact, work. I was surprised by that. Big slide off the end of the racetrack as we continue to bump and bang around Road America. Look at this. Going to be 3 wide. Don't wreck off the racetrack. Oh, it's like bowling. Crossover. What a move. Oh, my goodness. I'm sure Zach isn't very happy about it, but my goodness. How was that not a ton worse? Let's get it on board here. A nose cam. From the 10 in the back bumper. Was that for ad placement? Think we're going to get it. Think we're going to get it. Boom. There's a car. Holy cow. Back here live. That was unbelievable. Every now and then you catch those moments where you just go, oh, that was not supposed to happen. Under 5 minutes remain. As it's now 7 seconds Nico Colby has in front of the field. He's already down across the start finish line. Second is just now cresting the hill. Josh Hunter on pit road. There goes that top 5 run. But are there now fuel questions that we have to worry about? Drag race across the line. This one for 10th. Big dive. Oh, big crash behind him. The 36 in it. Birch, they're struggling. See, that 27 is driving the wheels off of that car. Not sure what happened here. Just a bump gone wrong, potentially. Both drivers starting to wiggle a little bit. A little bit of a door bang, and this car's got stuck together. Pulled them both to the left, and into the wall they go. I don't believe that was in any way malicious, just an unfortunate circumstance with the net code. So we have 2 minutes remaining. Watching the battle for second through about 6th, 7th position here. Not sure if anyone's going to have an opportunity to make a move on raw pace. Might be pushing for a mistake from a competitor. So we've got about 1 lap to go before we get the white flag. Nobody making any kind of inroads into the leads. No one's extending the gaps. They're all just kind of in lockstep here through the back part of this racetrack. Canada corner. Apologies, that is 14, the final corner on the racetrack. Up the hill. And Bound has rebounded up into 4th. Remember, led the opening 11 laps, the entire first stint. Went off the racetrack, then got spun a second time. He's rebounded to 4th and could very well get that second position if the drivers in front of him aren't careful. There's a minion on there. Haven't seen that one before. Nice touch by the painter. Big run into 5. That Mustang power. Move gets made. Gets alongside. Can they make the corner? Yes, they will get into the braking zone effectively. E3 now for Bound. 1 lap to go. And I mean, catching up to Colby's out of the question. But could we get second? As we're on the white flag. Nico Colby has led 6. He's going to lead 7 when they get back to the stripe. Ran second the entire first stint. As they work down through the kink. Back to the battle. For second, Bound drive for everything it's worth. They're now headed into the kink as well. It's going to be tight for those two. Back side by side. Almost there. Got to the inside. What about Canada corner? Big slide. Mustangs off the racetrack. And after the final section. 1 corner to go to claim victory. And today, it's Nico Colby's victory. Is that your winner in Road America? Excellent drive. Put the pressure on. That entire first stint. Was able to capitalize when a mistake was made on that restart. Nico Colby going to get the win here today. Wawrowski in second. Bound finishes in the 3rd spot. Now that every driver has crossed the start-finish line, let's go over your race results. Nico Colby gets the win after starting third, 6.3 seconds up the road from Faborowski. Andrew Bound finishes in third. We'll chat with those three drivers should they appear in the interview room in just a few moments. Joe Rainey going to finish in fourth here this evening after a spirited battle right at the end of the race. Mitch Crowther finishes in the fifth spot. Sixth will be Zach Severe. Seventh, Sam Aiken with a great run up 4 spots. Dane Perkins right where he started in the 8th spot is where he'll finish. Brendan Myers in 9th. 10th to be Tyler Satterfield, who I'm sure is kicking himself for not capitalizing on winning the pole earlier in the race. Oleski in the 19 will finish in the 11th position. 12th will be Tamer in the 225. Amethyst Reese in the 037 finishes 13th. Brandon Birch in the 14th position. 15th for Jesse Lavorin. 16th for Josh Hunter. 17th for Stone Colby. Good day gone sour in the final stint of the race. Warren Johnson climbs up to 18th where he started. Benjamin Forehand in 19th. Taylor Thompson in 20th. And rounding out your field here today will be Darren Colby in the 47, who never did make a lap on the grid. And now we have all of our drivers. Let's catch up with them, see what they have to say about their respective races. Start off with third place, Andrew Bound. Andrew, Morgan up in the V-Speed booth, you got a copy.
Hello, how we doing?
We are doing well, and I'm sure this one probably stings a little bit. You led the opening stint up until the competition yellow. What happened there on that initial on that second restart that kind of cost you the race?
Going into turn 1, cold tires, naturally. The car just, the rear end just stepped out of me. I saved it, get it back on track. I had a safe rejoin, and then Trevor Vivorovsky took out, I think it was Brandon Myers. I don't really know what happened. I have to go back and take a look at it, but he was incident there. Brandon cuts across, takes me out, and then I drop down to like 11th place, which is ridiculous. And then 2 or 3 laps later, I'm trying to make a move going into like turn 3 or turn 4 on, I think it was Mitch. Yeah, Mitch Crowther, and I don't know if it was on me or on him, but I ended up getting spun out, and that just really killed my momentum and my mental, just my headspace, and I just had to climb all the way back up. I'm very disappointed with how this played out.
Yeah, of course, not the finish you were looking for with how dominant that car was for the opening 11 laps that you led, 12 laps that you led. But there's got to be some positive taken away. You mentioned you fell down to about 11th spot with only 4 laps or so left, 5 laps left. You're able to climb all the way back up to second. Oh, well, you got to third to get second for a moment, then back down to third. What does that say for just the pace that this car has week in and week out?
The Mustang has the right name. It's a Mustang. It's a wild beast. You can tame it. I mean, it's fast as shit, but it's a lot to handle, especially on just tires that are basically driving on dinner plates.
Yeah, absolutely here. And well, P3 for you, but you mentioned disappointing. But next week we're going to head to another car, another class, another racetrack out there in Interlagos. Who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out? And what are you excited for next week?
I mean, I'm excited to continue climbing up in the standings. I don't have the pace as these top guys do in the GT3 cars. The GT4 is definitely where I shine. Looking forward, just continue climbing up the championship points. Thanks, Warren, for always holding a good league. All the competitors coming out. Morgan, thanks for the good stream, bud.
You bet. Well, that's your third place finisher, Andrew Bound. Congratulations on the podium, and we'll see you. Well, I won't see you. Someone will see you next time out here in the in this series.
Yes, sir. Have a good night. Thank you.
You bet. You as well. Third place, Andrew Bound. Move up the road a little bit to second. And that would be the number 10 finishing in P2 here today. Trevor, you got a copy?
Yep, I got you.
All right. Well, chaotic day, I think, to say the least here. Had a lot of speed in this car all day, but you off track a number of times, a few spins, few incidents. P2, how you feeling about it?
Yeah, definitely overachieved for the pace I had today. Was not very comfortable in the car. It was all over the place. Had the spin. Really struggled with the consistency, and I think clearly a lot of people struggled with the cold tire fire up, but managed to do a pretty decent job of that and make some decent moves and avoid some of the calamities at the end. And yeah, found our way, stumbled and bumbled into P2.
So you mentioned stumbling and bumbling, and when it seems like the entire field is a 0.5% of throttle away from looping it out of any given corner or overshooting a corner or whatever the case is, how difficult is it for you to kind of rein it in a little bit and say, if I keep it on the tarmac, I'm going to gain positions? Is that a difficult thing for you to do, or is that something that comes naturally to you?
Uh, Keeping the car on the track is one thing. Typically I'd say I've been doing iRacing long enough to where I can get a pretty decent handle on that. But this GT4 car is very tricky with that, and I'm newer to this league and whatnot, and getting to see how some of these people drive. And yeah, if you give an inch, some people take a mile and whatnot. So it's a little tricky to back off and not not have people try and take advantage of that and gain places while not going all out. Yeah, it's tricky. I had some good racing there towards the end with Joe and Andrew, and shout out to Joe for some heads up driving. I had a total lock up there on the restart and just I came into turn 5 pretty hot, and he had some heads up driving to avoid me there. So shout out to him.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, great drivers throughout this field. Mentioned that throughout the show. And I mean, you finished P2. I mentioned you overperformed, so things are positive in your camp. Who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out? And what are your thoughts about next week at Interlagos?
As far as the next week, I'm just happy to be back in a GT3 car. I don't know. It's these GT4 rounds are going to be really tricky for me. I'm probably going to try a new GT4 next week. I don't know. Hopefully I can get into a session with some of the other GT Dynamics guys, and maybe they can help me get up to speed a little bit quicker. But yeah, looking forward to the GT3s.
Anyone you want to thank or shout out?
Yeah, just the guys over at GT Dynamics, just help me out.
Right on. I see you worked it in there. I didn't quite catch that. Well done.
Yeah, all good. All good.
Anyway, congratulations, Trevor, on the P2 finish here today. And broadcast will catch you next time out.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bet. That's P2, Trevor Favorowski. Now let's catch up with the winner. Nico Colby. Morgan up at the booth. You got a copy?
Got a copy.
Well, welcome to V-Speed Victory Lane for the first time in your career. V-Speed Victory Lane, that is. Started in third. You kept the leader honest. You were right on bounce back bumper the entire first stint. It took one slip for you to take the advantage away, and then you stretched it out, finished over 6 seconds in front of the field. What do you have to say about your race today?
Yeah, no, I was behind Andrew for a while, trying to keep it consistent, try not to get too many X's, saving the tires a little, but not too much. And then as soon as the restart hit, there was just a lot of incidents happening, and I just kind of pulled away from the pack and just put consistent laps down.
Absolutely. And one thing that I did notice is you were probably the only driver in the field to come out of this race without any major spins, off tracks, any kind of incidents like that. How were you able to do that? Obviously, being up front helps, but was there anything in particular that you did, any strategy you employed to be able to avoid some of these incidents?
I think the setup definitely helped a little bit with that. It was a quick setup, but it was stable, and then just I think tire saving, honestly.
Tires end up playing a big factor, do you think, in the race and in the way this thing went?
Yes. After the restart, I know a couple people spun because of the tires, and yeah, I think it was definitely a factor in my win.
All right. Well, regardless, you were able to conquer the tires and the racetrack here in Road America. How about Road America, Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, and all that? Who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out for an excellent race today and a big win?
Shout out you for streaming Shout out Warren for hosting the league. Shout out Jeremy Fletcher. He's been coaching me for the past few days. He's a great coach. If you ever need coaching, him hitting up vehiclebuyers.com if you ever need a buy or sell car. And just everyone that races with us and makes it fun.
Awesome. Well, thank you for your time, Nico. Congratulations on the win, and I'm sure someone will catch you next time out here in the broadcast booth. It was a lot of fun for my maiden voyage in the series here on V-Speed.
Thank you.
You bet. That's your winner, Nico Colby. And that is about going to do it for our show here today. Late night on the East Coast and Central Time. Of course, these Pacific guys and their West Coast Sim Racing GT Challenge get started a little bit late, a little bit earlier for them, a lot later for us. As, of course, time zones are quite something. Regardless, it was a great race. Chaotic from start to finish. A lot of fun to watch. Hard to keep track of everything that went on, honestly, with just how all over the place some of these cars were. Of course, a lot of grip lost on cold tires and gained throughout the run, but just tight, hard racing all the way throughout. Make sure to catch the next broadcast, likely on the Sean Stam Racing Network in 1 week's time in Interlagos, the GT3. If you haven't already, check out the Discord on the left side, the QR code, or the Instagram page on the right side, the QR code. A big thanks to all of the sponsors who help make this thing possible. If you haven't already as well, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss a moment of the racing action here on V-Speed. I was your host and producer, Morgan Cook. I give a big shout out to Dougie Beard, of course, for the fantastic cameras provided for us all season long. As well, big shout out to the co-owners of V-Speed, Bradley, Adam, Eddie. Thanks to Logan, Lucas, all the other commentators, producers, tons of stuff happening on V-Speed in the future. Keep it locked right here for things like the MRL 500. Got a bunch of other great leagues as well and one-off races. And just keep it locked right here on V-Speed because you're not going to be disappointed with the racing that we have in the future. But for everyone who makes this thing possible, see you next time right here on V-Speed.